The other day I had a birthday and I forgot to say hi, Mom. Hi, Mom. Happy day, Mom. And everybody else as well. Let me tell you a story though about my wife. I married my wife for her good looks. For her looks, but not for the ones that she's giving me now. This is hard to understand, that too. But this is really hard to understand for me. President Biden, he has a press conference, he wears a mask, and he tells everyone to get vaccinated so you don't have to wear a mask anymore. What's up with that? I mean, there doesn't seem to be any smart stuff going on in the world anymore. I mean, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart, pick one, and get vaccinated and still keep 6 feet apart and still wear a mask. A vaccine for liberals is needed, and until one is found, all liberals must stay indoors and hide in the basement. That's the best thing that I can come up with. Oh boy, the manager of a retirement home in Ontario ordered staff members to remove door handles. It was the White Cliff Terrace retirement residence. Who does that? This is during the pandemic, of course, and he said take the handles off the doors so people can't get out. Nobody can get in. It's like a prison. I mean, elderly people have been treated like prisoners for a year and a half. It is so wrong. It is so bad. Your best before date is long past. Many people are 85, 90, 95 years old. And in this case, they can't even leave the place. They can't even leave their room. I know so many people like that. I mean, the meals are brought up and then someone knocks on the door and they put the tray down on the floor. I mean, and they're in their 90s. They do this to prisoners in jail. I mean, back to this guy who's unlawful confinement. At least he was charged because he was reported. But this is kind of stuff is going on. The pandemic has made monsters out of so many people. Made monsters, brought the monster out in people because I think it's been there the whole time. The handles are off the doors for several days, and the residents are actually trapped inside their place. They were trapped anyway with or without those handles because they weren't allowed out. But this even made it worse. I guess the odd person was sneaking out to have a life. Can you imagine? You know, that guy, he failed the IQ test. I mean, his score was kind of like his shoe size. That'd be the guy that said, take the handles off the doors. Him and so many other liberals. Is he a liberal? Of course he is. He's not right-wing, because right-wing people have more of a mind than that. I'm generalizing. Maybe, but you know what? I believe that your political makeup kind of governs how you live. And that ain't a right-wing guy. Just saying, prove me wrong, please. COVID is more than a health disease. You know, it's a gateway to this multi-zillion-dollar policy business that the left has. I mean, it's hyper-regulation and rebirth of the welfare state, rebirth. It does say that here. I'm not so sure about that. It's a rejig, certainly. It's kind of on steroids, but it's been coming. It's coming at us and has been for a long time. But under the Trump policies, we had one of the most robust financial and economic expansions on record. And that's just a fact. Oh, let's not talk about that because that's bad. We'll get censored. I use Trump's name. But you know what? It's just a fact. You can like or dislike or do whatever you like, but, a little rhyme there, but it's just a fact. It was good then, and it ain't so good now, and it looks like it's getting worse. We got this, liberalization of the world maybe happening. We got to stop it. There's a defund movement going on. Everybody knows that in Seattle. The police department defund. Let's not have police anymore, but hope they won't prosecute criminals, and they're running wild. And a third of the police force in Seattle and so many other cities as well, the third, again, in this example, they've left. They said, this is craziness. We quit. We're taking early retirement. We don't want to do this anymore. There's too many restrictions. Defund the police. And in addition to that, the politicians say, go please. We're going to give you a check. Go away. We don't need policemen anymore. Oh boy, you sure do. Cape Town, all police officers there. South Africa, they're quitting. And a lot of them say, I still do work, but I ain't going to report to work. It's not safe anymore. Why isn't it safe? I'm not allowed to enforce the law. Every country is having experiences like this because the left is interfering with common sense. And hey, good sense ain't common anymore. So here's a person that said this. Would you please pass along the following message to Brian? That'd be me. Here we go. What does he or she say? It's about Canada, Canadians. The lie which is being forced upon us will only continue so long, and then it will be followed by threats of force to get all to comply. After a quick election that would appear to be coming soon, it goes on and on. We are at war, information and censorship war. We can win. We as Canadians were once respected around the world, and we can be again. Okay, and he also says it is a he, that we can rebuild this country. Nice wordage, and there was a time when I would have bought into this, and I agreed. I don't now. I think that Canada is doomed. I don't think Canada can be repaired. I think it's too far gone. I think I'm a realist, and I'm also a patriot, so I don't say this lightly, but there's so many rules in place. There's been so much manipulation and so many years of upheaval that it's kind of like your car. You try to put it together with wire and tape, and eventually you say it doesn't work. I have to get a new one, but I can't here because everyone's fighting. Anyway, I wish that was true. I do. I don't think it is. I think that Alberta needs to lead the charge. They need to have independence, and which means separation from the rest of the country. And I do believe then that other provinces will join them. And most people I talk to say, hey, that's a great idea, but it'll never happen. I think with some things that are going on now in the West that it will happen. And I think the world will see a capitalist conservative country as a model for the rest of the world, which will help other places. And I hope I'm right. Actually, I hope I'm right second. Viewer that wrote that, I hope you're right first. It would be nice to be able to rebuild countries like Canada. Maybe I'm just being negative today, but I kind of do believe that. And I like being wrong, but I don't think I am. It's too far gone. So we have to look at building something new. Hey, give me your comments on that. See ya.